What's going on, you guys? We're playing some Legion today. We're back at Sci-Fi City, and I just figured we could have probably gone with a bigger inner city. We're really crowded. I think a lot of the terrain was pushed over into some of the other tables, but we have elected to go back to the frozen tundra this time, and I'm bringing the Wookiee list I did my last build on. I actually forgot some of my cardboard, so I'll be using photos on my phone to reference them. We're just playing a friendly game, but yeah, so basically I've got Luke, Han, and Chewbacca, and 2 full units of Wookiees, each with Tenacity and Hunter, and then the Wookiees have the crossbowmen as well, and then 3 Rebel Troopers, each with, they each have fragmentation grenades, and that's what we're running over here today. Alright, and today it's actually a Rebel versus Rebel showdown. We're going up against Luke with Force Reflexes, Luke and Leia with Commanding Presence, a Sniper Strike Team, 4 Rebel Troopers with Z6 targeting scopes and the extra Rebel Trooper, and 2 ATRTs with the Rotary Blaster Cannon. And it's going to be a Rebel versus Rebel showdown. So our conditions are clear conditions. It's going to be breakthrough, and the long march. So this one's actually going to be a little bit like a game of football. So Freddy's going to deploy over here, I'm going to deploy over here, and we're going to be trying to cut through. You want to treat the ice the same way as it was last time, where it's basically difficult terrain?
Yep.
Okay, it's frozen ice instead of a river. It's a lot harder to do. We don't have enough bridges to treat it like full-blown river that you can't cross, because that would be a lot more difficult. We are set up. I've got Han, Chewie, and Luke right here in kind of the middle, and we've got all the rebels set up right here with Leia kind of perched up above. Gonna probably try and take some sniper shots. Kind of regret getting Han kind of up there. I'd rather have hidden him a little bit, but looks like Leia's gonna be able to see Han at least. Probably a couple of them. All right, we finished round 1. Not a whole lot of inaction, just moving. Oh, did you do Leia? I think you forgot Leia, or did you just leaving? Are you leaving her there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And so I brought all the Wookiees up this way, and I put some of my Tau up here just for decoration. They're not actually participating, and it's gonna be interesting once we all get to the middle. I think the next turn is gonna be some shooting, but turn 3 there's gonna be a lot of shooting. For beginning of turn 2, I played Change of Plans, and he played Coordinated Bombardment, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and discard Change of Plans to return that to your hand. So I lose this, but I can always get it back later with Chewbacca. So you have to pick a different card basically when we do this again. And I went with my ally as the Force, so we're gonna roll it off. And yeah, that's the interesting thing about the command cards, and that's the cool thing about Chewie is that I can actually get that one back. I was actually tempted to play Chewie's 3-pip now, but I think I'll do it later on. Who's right there? I'm shooting by Luke, who's right here. What'd you roll? Rolled a hit.
They're really sugary, like.
And I roll 1. And it looks like that's a straight up damage. I missed it. So you hit Luke for ATRT with rotary cannon, which we called rotisserie, is coming around here to attack these Wookiees. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Alright, let's see what happens. 5 dice. We got heavy cover from where we are. There's a move and a shoot, so there'll be no re-rolling. 3. Oh, that's not too bad. 3 and 2 will go away for heavy cover, so it's 1, and I'm gonna have Chewie actually Guardian. All right, so we got the end of round 2. Both of these AT-RTs took some shots on the blue Wookiees here. We did take 1 damage on the blue Wookiees, but Chewie Guardianed, took 3 of them. I'm kind of hoping to get Chewie to 4 wounds, so then his craziness will kick in. But yeah, we've got a little bit of defensive stuff going on over here, but then the bulk of the rebels are moving around on the far side as far as I'm concerned. I left 1 Rebel Trooper unit right here to kind of deal with them, but I might be bringing some around a little bit. It's gonna be very much yin yang, because like his forces are all coming in this way and my forces are all coming in that way. So it's gonna boil down to whoever can get the most units in the other person's zone. He's got more than I do, but I think those Wookiees are going to start rolling like a hot knife through butter if I can get them. Although they're not going to be that good against the armored units, but my troopers have the frag grenades, so maybe. All right, so start of turn, what is this, turn 3? Yeah, Leia's did her 1 pip again this time, for real this time. I did Chewie's 3 pip, which pulled Han's card back to my hand. And I forgot to bring all my cardboard, so I'm subbing a support in for Chewie right now. But yes, so she's going to shoot both Wookiees and Luke with her little red die thing, so we'll see how that works out. Alright, so I took Luke and jumped him across, and then he pulls ATRT. So Luke is literally staring down an ATRT right now. Fortunately, I was smart enough, if I was going to do that, I did exhaust force reflexes to get that dodge. So I've got at least a little something. Alright, you can go ahead and shoot me now. Let's see what happens. Alright, 5, and he's aiming and shooting with the ATRT laser cannon. It's going to be bad for Luke. Luke's already got 1 wound. Oh, alright, you want to spend that aim to reroll 2 dice?
Yep.
It's not bad. Alright, so you got looking at 4. Not bad. So I will spend the dodge, which will cancel 1, so I got 3. And then I get to see what I can do with deflect. Because Luke spent a dodge. He's got deflect now. Oh, that's good. So that actually means... So I spent dodge, deflect, I get surge to convert. If it's a ranged attack, the attacker suffers 1 wound for each surge rolled. So I cancel 2. I still take a wound, but I deflected 2 of the laser bolts back at you. So my Wookiees have kind of moved up to attack this ATRT. They had a lot of extra dice. Tenacity worked because they were wounded. But then Luke enemy Luke just came in. It's the fake Luke. He's a clone. It's not the real Luke. He came in and he's meleeing the Wookiees now. So they're going to probably lose a little bit. Fortunately, they have a lot of health and only 1 wound on them. Then last is full Z6 unit activated and shot Chewie dead. D-E-D dead. Chewie's dead. Yeah, got 6 damage in with the aim and shoot with the targeting scopes. And Chewie didn't roll any. The white defense dice are just like, you might as well just not even roll anything. Alright, so this other ATRT just went and shot Luke. Luke has heavy cover, or we were trying to figure out the building kind of gives it to him if it's light because the gray ATRT is in the way. But either way, he's also got suppression, so light cover plus suppression would be heavy cover. And I thought I'll be fine, but no, he rolled a whole lot of crits. And I rolled off complete nothingness on all the red dice from Luke. So Luke is dead. D-E-D dead. So Chewie and Luke both died in the same turn. So it's really not looking good for me. Really, really not looking good. Of turn 4. All I've got left for commanders is Han. And Han's probably going to die soon too. We're on like a last-ditch charge. But he countered. He played Son of Skywalker. So Luke here is going to attack these Wookiees. And probably kill a full unit of Wookiees, and that's not pretty. So we'll see what happens. All right, so Han came in, did some damage over here. They couldn't shoot him back because this unit over here had a face-up order token. They had to shoot that unit. They did kill the guy that was poking out. I lost a full unit of Wookiees already, but the unit that was remaining was able to charge in since this guy got hit with a critical. It disabled a weapon of my choice. I chose his melee weapon, so he had to actually back out. Then my other Wookiees charged Luke and rolled 7 damage. Let's see what Luke can roll to save his life. I know, I was really appreciative of having tenacity. Oh, I think that's a dead... Well, you got 1 more roll, right? That's a dead Luke.
Wow.
That's a dead Luke. I finally have some revenge. I don't feel too bad considering you've already killed 2 of my heroes, and I finally just killed my first one of yours. It does, however, leave those Wookiees kind of out in the open. But, wow. They got revenge for their Wookiee brethren that have fallen. Of turn 4, yeah, it's not looking too good for me, but we did manage to take out 1 unit that was moving in towards my zone there. The frag grenades actually did some work. And so that's nice. I got these other troopers kind of getting into the frozen waters, moving slow because it's difficult terrain for them. Wookiees are down 1 Wookiee. And Han is facing an oncoming storm of 2 different rebel trooper units. That's he's gonna have a hard time. Have these rebels move up. We're throwing frag grenades at some guys in the nest up here. The red dice are really, really good. If you can get the rebels into close range, they're doing really well. had Han shoot a couple of rebel troopers, gave him suppression, and then he used his second action to move in and just kind of tie them up with a melee, and they are going to try to punch him back. Let's see how much damage gets thrown on Han. Meanwhile, these guys are over here. Got some Wookiees standing in the middle of two ATRTs. Doesn't look too well. All right, we're at the end of round 5. We're going to start round 6. We have some really interesting things. My Wookiees decided to stand still and shoot instead of moving, and they didn't roll any desirable results. I got 1 impact hit on one of the ATRTs, but it has 1 health left, so that was kind of a maybe not the best option. I think they should have just made a run for it and gotten themselves in the opponent's deployment zone, which would have started about here. Instead, now I've got 1 turn left and only 1 Wookiee leader with only 2 health left. I do have this unit of rebel troops. I don't know if they're close enough to make it there. It's because the leader's back here, so I might not be able to make it. I don't regret putting Han in base contact with that full unit there, because that left just 1 other unit to be able to try to make a run for my deployment zone. And I've got 3 little rebel troops right there to try to hold him off. The numbers are slightly in my favor, but he's got that Z6 that's still alive, so that's unfortunate. He's got the sniper still up here too, which might hinder my plans of getting into the enemy deployment zone as well. And then Leia's hanging out back here. It's going to be a really interesting final turn. So we're doing turn 5. I won the roll-off because we both played standing orders. And these guys, I had them go first. They did kill his last unit that could make it to my deployment zone, which was fortunate. He then shot my rebels, got them suppressed. He didn't actually get damaged through, but denied them the actions they needed to be able to make it. But they returned fire, happened to roll a Hail Mary crit and blew up that last ATRT. Wookiee actually went through the door here and made it into the deployment zone. I think he's too far for Leia to be able to get a shot at. But this sniper up here is going to take a shot and try to kill the Wookiee. Now, I am going to get heavy cover. The sniper has sharpshooter, so it's going to reduce sharpshooter 1, so I'm going to get light cover. So by my estimations, he needs 2 crits to be able to kill me. And then, provided then I roll garbage white dice, which I've been doing. So, you rolling a black and a white? Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. 2 crits will almost guarantee it. You have surge to hit, or surge to hit. So 1 goes away for the light cover, and I'll roll 1 white. Nothing. So 1 more damage on me, but I've got 3 health on this Wookiee. So I don't think Leia can reach him. I don't think, because she's gonna have to move down the ladder, and then her second action, I'm pretty sure she's too far. All right, so we just did the math. There's no way, even if Leia moved over to here and took a shot, it was still out of range. So it looks like I'm gonna win this one 1-0. But I gotta say, this was actually really close. I thought early on losing Luke and Chewie in the same round, that kind of messed up my strategy. Sending Wookiees against armor wasn't really the best plan. But I didn't really. Honestly, a lot of that has to do with the fact that this is a big board, and I didn't want to have to keep walking around the table. So I said, I'm just going to play on the side a little closer to me. And I think he took advantage of that by putting the armored units in my path. So it was a good play. There were some really good dice rolls, and Han did a really good job. He was kind of MVP here. I thought the Wookiees were going to do better, but I just kind of misplayed them going up against armor. So yeah, it was a fun game, and a lot of games don't always come down to that very last shot. So it was very pleasing. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and come check out Sci-Fi City in Orlando.